have that issue. Men are like that when they're broke, and then when they have money, and then
Mm.
sometimes the guy would turn around and have money and end up being broke again, and then he gets treated differently. Then so now he sees when you're broke, you got money, and you don't made it, and then for some reason you don't lost the money, and then you broke again, and then you lose everything all over again, and you're like, damn, what the hell? So yeah,
I,
yeah.
I would
So
say to Marcus's question, we're being a bit disingenuous. Because I guarantee you can go to talk to any person that lost it, and they will tell you how it makes them. And Casey kind of cleaned it up at the end, and actually, you know what I mean, started speaking the truth to it. But like, if you go to any person that lost their beauty, that lost their, you know what I mean, what made them attractive to the vast majority of people that got them a particular response, they will tell you like, no, the confidence is not there. They don't have that same level of confidence. They don't have that same level of oomph behind them when they lose their beauty. Or, for example, what Mr. Lego said, a man that loses all his money, he don't have that same confidence about him to be able to walk into a room and think he can command a room the same way that he once did. Same thing with women. You go and talk to a woman that actually lost her beauty, that got a scar, or to Casey's point, a woman that may have caught a skin condition that made her unattractive to the vast majority of people when she used to be that woman. That confidence is not there, and actually, it's the reason why so many people try to come around them and affirm them, but it's hard to affirm a person when their reality tells them something differently. Like you know what I mean? There was this campaign that went on through, I can't remember what company it was. I think it was one of the Johnson and Johnson. I can't remember which one it was, a Leaf, whatever. And they were trying to promote like inclusivity, where they were saying, okay, well, we're going to bring in bigger women in gaming and
Dove, I
things like
think
that.
that's
Oh my
something.
gosh, it was
Dove.
Dove.
Yeah,
I
it was
hate
Dove, I
that.
believe. And
Where they had brown, like a brown
yeah,
shirt on or
Yeah.
whatever. But that
Yeah.
yeah.
was, I hated that.
And
I said,
so
was
and
nobody
so
in
what
here
happened was that
that was black?
while was that the same? I don't know if that was the same thing, but I do know that no, it wasn't that. It wasn't Dove. My bad. It was another. It was another program I was watching.
Bro,
Man, bro, chill out. It was another program while I was watching. Where
cares?
they were talking to a woman in a wheelchair, and everybody was calling her, "Oh man, you're so beautiful. You sexy. You this. You that." But she, in her mind, in her reality, when they went and asked her behind closed doors, she was like, "While I appreciate the affirmation, her real life was not yielding the same results that people were telling her, and she felt that, and that's why she lacked the confidence that." And everybody was sitting there like, "I don't get why you're not so confident. You're so beautiful." But she's recognizing like, yeah, while y'all are telling me all of this, the world is telling me something totally different. How men respond to me is something totally different. How people view me is something totally different. And that's why I think we're being disingenuous when we say that, oh man, my confidence will still be up if I
I
lost
mean, it's
XYZ.
mental.
true.
It's mental. I can speak and say, like last year, I began to lose the pigmentation from my skin underneath my eye, and I said to myself, because I had to build myself up, and I said, well, this is different, but I know I'm living a life, things change. And so before I went to the dermatologist, I was like, okay, well, maybe, I'm going to lose my pigmentation. That was something I had to accept within myself. So it does go back to people's environment, people's relationship with self, because I came to a point where I'm still going to be that girl with this pigmentation on my eye. And my man backed that up. But in myself, I made up my mind that I love me so much that regardless of how I show up, I don't even look at the scale now. I used to look at the scale all the time. Honey, I'm at the point in my life, I look good, I feel good. And if I feel like I want to like lose some weight, it's like maybe if my stomach protrudes over my private area, if I'm like, okay, my stomach is bulking out, let me do this or let me do that. But just like Casey, I dance, I coach. I, Even throughout my pregnancy with my son, like I swam the whole pregnancy. I lift weights, but I did that within myself. And so it is a personal thing. It's how you view yourself. And thank God for for medicine and I was able to get cream from the dermatologist, and they were like, "Oh, it's gonna take years." It took like 3 months to clear up pigmentation that was just like it kept growing. It was going white. So, but it's all mind over matter. I mean, it's who you are, how confident you are in self, and your brain is a muscle. What you believe about yourself is like a muscle. How do you condition yourself? How do you condition, how you show up in the world? Because I always think to myself, they don't pay my bills. They don't pay my bills. They don't pay my bills. And so it's a motivator for me.
The reason I asked, because I read the reason I asked.
Control what you can control.
No, we're gonna go to Claire. We're gonna go to Marcus, and then we're gonna move on, y'all, to the last topic.
All right. I'll just say control what you can control, right? Let's say you were a young lady who didn't have anybody at all, right? Anybody who's into fitness, I know you do it, Leco. There's a million exercises that you can do to amplify your bottom size. That's just the facts, right? It's not very much you could do about the top, but a lot of us, if you got a really nice one, we're not really that concerned about the top, for real. And it's also the way that you diet. JR just threw 2 joints that you could put on your skin to make yourself look good naturally, right? So it's just about the way you present it. You're going to get different energy, and it's not just subject to women. I could change the energy real quick. If I start throwing on some hoochie daddy shorts, the energy is definitely going to be different. The attention is definitely going to be different. Some good, probably mostly bad. But depending on how I present it is the type of attention that I'm going to get. I know suits are universally respected. If I go out with a suit, it's a different type of energy than if I just throw on a t-shirt. And that's universal. So just do whatever you can as an individual to enhance the way that you look naturally. And your confidence will build. You'll get a lot better attention than you probably were otherwise.
So the reason I asked, because I read.
Can we go to the next topic? Vagina is just drying up all over the country right now. Just
go ahead.
No, Marcus, don't let him do that to you,
Marcus,
bro.
Then we're gonna go to the next topic.
Think about the vaginas out there watching. Nobody wants to hear this shit.
Go ahead. We're gonna go to Marcus, and then we're gonna go to the next topic. Go ahead, Marcus. Finish your thought.
The whole reason I was asking,
the women, y'all, not just the guys, just all y'all. Like nobody cares. Like, come on, y'all.
Okay. The reason I asked was because I read a book called As a Man Thinketh, and I was wondering how much of your thought process dictates your outcome. So if you like you could look your best but feel like you looking your worst, would that then in turn make your outcomes be similar to your worst? And you could be your worst but feel like you're your best, and could you have outcomes similar to your best? That was just my general question. It's something I've been playing with in my mind. We can go to the next.
All right, appreciate that, Marcus.